Okay, we've got our new grazing set up here, like in a strip model, down to our full 15 on each side. It's kind of hard to see it, but there's a line that is really bumpy. Sorry for that. That line there runs down the center of the pasture, cutting it in half, and then we're running these strips. As you can see, they were here yesterday, and we just moved here today. And I'll set up the next one. We're going with a 16-foot wide strip. That should get us our 15. It may even actually get us 16 all the way down the other end, and then obviously the same on the back side, and that'll give us 30 days. They'll come back over here. So hopefully the rain and sunshine keeps working in our favor, but this place has come a long ways. If you've watched any of our videos prior to now, if you haven't, I'd recommend you look back at what this place looked like beforehand. It was just like that row crop field over there, and we have spent 2 years fencing it in and grazing goats, sheep, and cows. And of course our new donkey here, Jenny, she's joined them as well. So we have definitely seen some major improvement, not just visually, but actually in our soil analysis. So we went from a little over 1.3%, I think it's 1.35% organic matter, to a 2.06 or 09. It's basically just shy of 50% increase in the 14 months that we measured. So it'll be interesting to see what the next year offers, if we see a similar 50% increase or if we teeter off some and maybe we don't get the same increase. But everything is certainly looking well, and I'm hopeful that we will not have to feed hay for the first time. We actually managed to get away with only feeding 2 round bales on their last 30-day circuit through here. One rolled out on one side and one rolled out on the other. So if that continues, but in a better way, to go from 2 round bales for the whole field to 0 round bales, that would be fantastic. But we'll see how that actually works out once we make this 30-day circuit. But as you can tell from what's being left behind, they've eaten a whole bunch of it. Now I did leave them in here a few hours past the 24-hour mark, because we're actually going to move them to where our 24-hour move is going to be in the afternoons rather than in the morning. So this one got hit a little bit harder. As you can tell, this one had a good bit more left yesterday, and then that is 2 days ago over there. So that was first day, second day, third day, and now we're here to the 4th day. So I will keep posting some videos. I mean, you can see here, obviously this area is not as well developed yet. We had all that rain here recently, and we already have, where it dried up, the ground's already cracked. So our organic matter is not awesome everywhere. Not that 2% is awesome, but it feels awesome compared to what it was, given that what we're looking at now. And this was just basically like a concrete dirt with some weeds growing in it when we first started. And to now have all this grass growing everywhere feels really good. And obviously, as you can see, the cows are really enjoying it, and they look good. She's in milk, so we do milk her, not every day, just as we see fit. That's her calf right there, good looking little fella. And Violet here, she's not in milk, and she's looking really great. We have to get her bred back soon, but we wanted to time our calving right, so we're now getting to the time where it'd be good to get her bred. So just wanted to share that. And like I said, if you haven't seen what this place looked like a year ago, or excuse me, 2 years ago, a year ago as well, but especially 2 years ago when we first started the cattle fencing project, this place was just strictly nothing but weeds. And if you see some of the videos coming through, it kind of got where it was actually worse looking. It felt like it was getting worse because they ate all the weeds, and then it was just nothing but mud. When it was wet, very sticky mud, and concrete like dirt, clay when it was dry. Very hard to put posts in the ground. I've bent quite a few fence posts, electric fence posts, getting them in the ground because it was that hard. So here's an exhibit. Again, we have areas like this. We round bale grazed. We didn't roll them out. We actually set the round bales. And again, if you look in our earlier videos, you'll see. And so when you get out here and you walk around, you can kind of tell where some of those areas where an actual bale was at. This is one here very specifically where there was a round bale there. That's why it looks so much better than some of the other areas. There was one over there. But we moved them around, and so some areas did a lot better than others. But there's also areas that are growing grass. Obviously a lot of clover here, but where we're actually growing grass where we didn't put actual bales at. So areas like this that are bare, that haven't recovered as much organic matter growth, probably, I'd imagine if we took a sample here, it would not be like the one we took elsewhere. But that said, I didn't go out to the most lush place here either. And what I may do on our next soil sample, which will be about 8 months from now, 9 months from now, I imagine we'll try to do it at a 12-month mark every year. But I imagine what I want to do is take one from an area that looks a little more lush like here, and take the other one where we've taken them before, which was out in this area, which actually was not very lush. And as you can see, this area is where they were at prior to here, so it hasn't recovered all the way back yet, but that's the path they're going down that way, cross over, come back this way, and just make the circle. And hopefully we don't have to stop and start feeding hay in the middle of this, at least not for a while. But anyway, stay tuned for more updates and footage on this, and certainly if this thing takes a dive and we have to start feeding a lot of hay, I'll post that. But it looks like we've got enough in here now to where we can just roll a bale out. And even if we have to roll 2 bales, but we'll roll it down each paddock so that they get hay eaten, and we can continue to move them each day and keep spreading that manure. In the beginning, we literally just put the round bale up and let them eat there for a number of days. So that will be changing going forward when we get back to having to feed hay. Hopefully that's not until this winter, but very, very well could be this summer if we have a repeat of the last 2 years in our drought level climate that we've experienced, as a lot of people have. So stay tuned for that. But so far this has worked out pretty well. When we went this last circuit, just rolling 1 bale down each side, they had some grass to eat here, and then they ate the rest of what they needed from the round bale. And some of these paddocks, they kind of hit the round bale a little harder than they did in others. There was enough grass in some that they didn't really touch much of the hay on the round bale that was rolled out. And then on other ones where it was a little more bare, where we had more prevalent areas like this, they ate just about all of the hay that was rolled through that paddock. So we do have a narrow strip here, obviously, small group of cows, small piece of property, but it's working, and they have enough room to get around each other, lay down. I mean, they pretty much just all lay together anyway, so having a bunch of room wouldn't really necessarily do them much good, but they seem content. And I am new to cows, but to me, I feel like their condition looks good, their coats look really well. Zoom in on her. Like I said, she's not in milk. She had a calf last year. We dried her off so we can get her bred to our Dexter bull here pretty soon. And the other one is, and obviously you can see she's a little thin, but her coat to me looks really good, and her demeanor's good. Her calf, obviously he's eating well, and we weren't going to keep him originally, but we might now. So thanks for watching, and again, stay tuned.